All right, here we are. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live in front of millions of people here on the glorious website we all know as YouTube. Super excited to be here tonight. Unfortunately, it is me solo tonight. I know that is going to be a bummer for all of you, but it is what it is. I do what I can. Lisa's it just wasn't going to work out today. And that's, you can't ask questions. When that kind of thing happens, you're just like, okay, well, that is what it is. I can do it solo. So, sorry about that. I know that's who everybody came here to see. I get it. But, I'm still here for you. At least I'm dedicated to being here with you. I'm kidding. She is too. But tonight, it just wasn't going to work. It's a long story. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. But here we are. Holy tan. Lisa keeps saying that too. Listen, I've been spending a lot more time outside. I don't notice it. It's that time of year now where it's a whole lot more tolerable to be outside. It is not brutally hot. Still hot enough, but the weather has kind of broke here a little bit, and I have been going outside every single morning and doing a walk/run. Not every morning, but 5 days a week. And I've been enjoying that. It's been really good. I put my earbuds in and I listen to, I've been listening to audiobooks. And right now it's The Order of the Phoenix. Going through the whole series. It's fine. But I think I may change from that. I think I might stop doing that because I have found, Devin Henderson. Okay. We have a name now. I told Lisa about that. I'm going to tell that story, Devin, cause you didn't tell me your name out there. But Devin can attest to, what I'm saying, because it's a funny story. So here's the deal. When you leave my house, if you go out to the stop sign, make a left, go all the way to the stop sign, make a left, come back around to my road, turn left, and then go back to my driveway. It's 3.2 miles. I call it the loop. And that's what I go out and do every single day. It's that 3.2 miles. I'm also incorporating the Couch to 5K plan on there. But that's only like, well, at least where I'm at with it, is only like 2 miles, maybe even a little less than that. So I do that, and then I've still got 1.5 miles to go. So I don't remember what day it was. It was last week. I was, I'm going to give you a hard time, Devin. Here it comes. It's coming. I was doing my thing, going down the road. And one thing I've noticed about North Carolinians since I've been here, we're all so friendly. And Devin was definitely friendly too. This is all going to make sense in a minute, folks. I promise. Everybody's just so friendly. And what I notice is when I'm walking on the side of the road, usually, people get like way over to make sure they don't hit my big butt walking down the road. Devin, not so much, but everybody else goes way over. But anyway, in Devin's defense, so I'm walking down the road. I had finished up my running part and I'm walking and it's hot. And there was a particular part where I could get way off the road. So I did. I got like way off the road, and this car passed. It was a Jeep. I'm not gonna tell everybody your license plate number. It was a Jeep, passed, and we waved, and that's what we do down here in North Carolina, right? We wave to each other. We're friendly to each other. It's not like Virginia. And so I'm just walking along. That car passes, and I wave, and I get back up on the road, and I'm walking. And I got my earbuds in. I'm listening to Order of the Phoenix. And then all of a sudden, this Jeep comes right behind me and stops. And I turn and I take my earbud out and I said, hey. And he says, hey, do you need a ride? I guess it looked like I was struggling, but that was just a ruse. That was just a way to break the ice, because after I said, no, I'm good, I'm just out here exercising, he says, hey, I know you. And I said, what? And he said, you're John from KG Tropicals. And I said, I'll be damned. Yes, I am. And he said him and his family were on the way to the beach, and it was fun, and it was interesting. That's a first, Devin. That's a first for me. I've been recognized before, but not like that. Not walking down the street in rural North Carolina and somebody stop their car and say, "Oh my God, it's John from KG Tropicals." Never had that happen before. But that was interesting. But that was cool. I mean, I love meeting new people, and, he caught me after a workout. And, so I was, struggling a little bit, and, he felt sorry for me, thought I might need a ride, but no, that was really cool. First time that's happened in the wild like that. Usually it's like at a pet store or something like that. Except this is the highlight story. Chicago. I think I guess it was 2020 Chicago. I don't know. I'd have to ask Lisa, but I think it was, who cares? It was 2021 because there wasn't one in 2020. Aqua Shella, Chicago, 2021. We are in Chicago with 90 other YouTubers from the aquarium world. I'm sitting right next to Will Nace, or actually Lisa's next to me and Will's next to her. Jason's right across from me. We got Lefty over here. Like, I don't remember who all was there. But everybody was there. So it doesn't really matter. And the waitress in there, the waitress recognized nobody else but me and Lisa. What are the odds? I mean, we're sitting next to all these heavy hitters, and it was only me and Lisa that she recognized, and we took a picture, and I think Lisa posted it on Instagram. That was fun, but no, it's good to be able to put a name to the face now, and that was wild. That's never happened to me before. But anyway, I don't see how you have the time to exercise with all you do. There's more time than you think, and you know what? When you get to be my age, and you battle high blood pressure and you're not exactly, skinny, you have no choice but to, buckle down and get out there in that North Carolina humidity and get some sweat rolling. And, it's one of those things where you have to do it. I mean, if you're somebody like me, now there are people, I hate these people. There are people that are just naturally those fit people. I hate those people that, can eat pizza and fried chicken all day long and they never gain a pound. Me, I look at fried chicken and I gain a pound. I hate those people and I don't want to be friends with those people. People like me have to work real hard for it. So, it's just making it work. That's what it is. Good evening, guys. I watch all your videos and have learned so much from them, even though I've had fish for some 60 years now since I was 8. Wow, you're still a young guy, young fella. Yeah, Don, I'm assuming you're a guy. This is first time watching the live feed. Wow. Well, cool. Isn't it wild? You've been doing this a long time, Don. And now, would you have ever thought even 15 years ago that you'd be sitting there watching some weirdo in North Carolina talk about his fish and his aquariums, which I haven't talked about yet at all today, but, isn't it crazy? But thank you for coming by, Don. I'm glad to have you. 68 years young, I would imagine. That's really cool. I don't know why I felt it important to say your age, but you said 60 years. That's a long time keeping aquariums. Y'all need advice? Ask that guy. I'm setting up a 20-gallon tank and interested in putting something different in it. Learn how to read, John. I might want mystery snails and a female beta in that tank. Can mystery snails be kept with peacocks? Well, that's like two questions. I'm going to separate those because that's like, I really want pizza, but do you have chicken? Like, that was weird. Like, I want mystery snails in a beta. Can mystery snails be kept with peacocks? You threw me off there. I've never kept mystery snails with peacocks, and if I'm being honest with you, I probably wouldn't. I don't think they would last long. I've never done that. I've never known anyone to do that, and that's probably why, because they would not last long in that tank. Mystery snails get pretty big, and they're nice and soft, not the shells, but the bodies. And so I just feel like peacocks would just have a field day with it. So I wouldn't do it there, but mystery snails with betas, oh yeah, you can definitely do that. We do that right now. So mystery snails get bigger than you think. And they'll breed too. So you got to be careful there. You might have 1 million of them before you know it. You're looking amazing with the tan. Second one tonight. I like it. I like these people. It's a good crowd tonight. Any advice for keeping Apisto borellii with CPDs? Will be housed in a 20 long with some other schooling fish, most likely rummy nose. I have never in my life kept Apistos. We have CPDs right now. We have rummy nose right now. So I could tell you with those, but I'm not the guy to ask about Apistos. I'm really, really sorry about that, but that's not really my wheelhouse. Bob Steenfott, Monday nights, is more of an Apisto guy. And I think in the stream immediately following mine, and I'm going to have to do something while we're talking here tonight. I believe Fish Room Fever is a guy who has kept Apistos, or Chattanooga Ed, who is on the show with him right after mine. I'm going to actually make sure that I am directing you all to that stream immediately following mine tonight, so that you don't even have to click anything. You just stay on and it'll take you right to it. I think it might be set up that way already, but let me make sure. I like to do this. I like James. I like Ed. They're good people. I like to make sure I'm helping people out with that. So there we go. Okay. Yeah. Now it's all set. So if you're in the mood for an all-nighter of fish keeping stuff, just stay on here. When we're done, you will go straight over to that stream and you can ask him. You'd probably have much better luck there. If you shave now, you'll have a white jaw and cheeks. I know. Wouldn't it be funny? I also, Lisa keeps pointing this out to me too. I also have the sunglass mark. I mean, what am I supposed to do about that? I'm not going to, but yeah. Wow. That just happened. Somebody isolate that and make a little thing out. Oh, that hurt too. I would have a ghost beard if I shaved right now. Can't do that. You gotta get out in the sun before you grow the beard. That wouldn't even matter either, because it would just, I think I might be unconscious after just hitting myself in the face with the microphone. If you don't make time to exercise now, you'll have to make time to be sick later. Okay, nurse practitioner leaving the chat. No, please don't, because what you speak is facts. It's true. I mean, you know what? This takes up an hour of my time today, an hour and 15 minutes when somebody drives by in a Jeep and stops me and interrupts me. Devin, you're a channel member, so you ought to know I'm a ball buster by now. Don't take me seriously. That was a treat meeting you all. It's an hour out of my day, and I have the time for it. And if I don't have the time for it, I make the time for it. You got to. I mean, if I don't do it now, like you said, listen, I'm only 6 years younger than my dad was, who would have turned 80 2 days ago, but unfortunately dropped at 54. I'm only 6 years younger than he was. So I got to start taking this stuff seriously. And I kind of always have, but then I also kind of always haven't. I go in spurts. But Stevie Ray Vaughn with the $20. Thank you so much for that, my friend. That was very kind of you. No chat attached to it. Just here's the money. I missed a couple here that were back earlier. Donna Horton, our Oscar isn't doing well. He stopped eating completely. We can't get proper medication for him here in Canada. Oh no. Have you tried other options for food? Things that are almost like candy bars for fish, like frozen bloodworms, things like that. Drop the whole thing in there. Oscar will usually tear those right up again. Not again, but they'll usually tear them right up. Those are things that I would consider to be like treats for Oscars. That's what I would do. I would try some bloodworms, or I don't know how long he's gone, but fish can go longer than you might think without eating. We don't want to do that to our fish, but you can do it. So if it's been a few days, I would not hit the panic button completely yet. It could be that his belly hurts or whatever, and he's just, going to get things moving, and then he's going to be fine. If it's been a real long time, then, if it's been a few days, I would start trying the bloodworms trick, or even night crawlers. Go to a bait shop and buy night crawlers. There's people that are going to be like, don't do that because they're dirty. And you wash them off, whatever's inside of them. You can't do anything about that. I mean, I've done that a lot. I've fed night crawlers to fish and they just gobble them up, and it's adorable to watch. People go fishing. What do they use? They use night crawlers. I mean, there's a reason for it. Fish love them. So if you have access to a bait shop, maybe even try something like that. I've done it in the past, not because my fish wouldn't eat anything else, but just because I wanted to do it because it was cool. So give that a try. Maybe that'll work. XYSKY. Holy cow, I made a live stream. Well, welcome. You're a member too. So, geez, we've been looking for you. We've been wondering when you were going to stop by. Tiana Hastings, baby update. Our little boy is finally here. So excited to finally be a mommy to more than just my fishes and kitty. Nice. Congratulations. That is so very exciting. How fun is that? Your life is never going to be the same, but it's in a good way. It's very good. Lisa and I, we're done with all that stuff. We got the youngest one out of here. It's party time now, but for you, it's just beginning, and that's a beautiful thing. So when you get to be my age, you'll be saying the same things that I'm saying right now. Mark Sturleson says, "G'day, everyone." Are you an Australian guy, Mark, or do you just say that because it's cute? Leo caused trouble in the last stream. I don't know if I'm going to put him on punishment or not. Right now, you got 300,000 people watching. If Lisa were here, it'd be 800,000. It's true. He's causing trouble again. Love you too. The best in the business. Well, thank you, Leo. Leo told me that he's a Dallas Cowboy fan. And even though that doesn't really mean anything to me anymore, because I don't really watch football anymore, I will always hate the Cowboys. And I know where he lives because I've sent him product because he's ordered from our website, and it ain't Dallas. And so I just said it doesn't make sense why he would be a fan of that team. Killer Kitty 08 with the $2. Thank you so much for the kitty cat #1 deal. Cute. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Mark is an Aussie. Okay, there you go. See? Nice. Somebody said, speaking of Aussie, that he did a halftime show last week. How'd that go? I wonder. I don't think that's coming across on the phone, but we got a helicopter flying real low over our house. And I don't know why. But speaking of that, I want to show you all something that's pretty daggone cool. Let me do this real quick. Speaking of things flying over the house, I want to show you it's only here that you're not here, but only in the country are you going to experience something like this. Had an interesting thing happen the other day. I was out packing orders for the website, And I kept hearing this boom. And I'm like, what is happening? Now, if you haven't seen any of the videos that we've done where there was where we were outside, we're completely surrounded by farmland. And sometimes there's crop dusters. And no, I don't mean a guy that walks through the room and farts while he's walking through the room. That's a barnstormer. That's a crop duster. There's a lot of different titles for such a horrific thing to do. But no, I'm talking about a real crop duster. Let me see if this will play. This was in my backyard. And that might not be the right one. It's not the right one. All right, now let me remember how to get rid of this. Oh boy. Okay. That's the Joe Coy video.
Hi. Can you send my shirt?
Hey, great show, Joe.
Go like this.
Got it.
Love you. Love you.
There we go. No, not that one. Okay, we back now? That was the wrong video. I'm going to try to send you the right video. If I can find it. Here. No, that's too long. I'm not going to do it. That video of Joe Coy, by the way, if you don't know who he is, very famous comedian. Lisa and I went and saw him last weekend. We got to talk to him for a millisecond, and Lisa got to take a selfie with him. If you want to rewind to the part where he was going like this, that was him behind Lisa taking a selfie with her. And then I talked to him for a brief second there at the end. But sorry about that. That happens every time I do videos. I try to put videos on here. That kind of thing happens, and it's very frustrating, and I'm sorry. But I had a video of a crop duster that went probably 5 feet over the top of my barn. Like, bow, right over top of my head. And it was the coolest thing ever. If you're not familiar with what a crop duster is, it's a small airplane that flies over fields, crops, and sprays fertilizers or pesticides or whatever it is on them. And we're surrounded by cotton fields right now. And so I'm mesmerized. I couldn't, it was unbelievable. Just watching, because they nosedive and then go, bow, and it's amazing what those guys do in those little airplanes. It's like watching a drone fly around. It's unbelievable. I watched that guy for like 45 minutes just in amazement. It was unbelievable. I wish I could have shown you that video, but I don't know which one it is, and I can't get them to play, but it was pretty cool to see that. Stop it. No, not that one either. Let's see. There's that one, but okay, it's too long. It's actually a 3-minute long video, so I'm glad I didn't show it to y'all. But anyway, what else do we got going on here? Melissa Jeswald says, Jax the cat is typing pause on keyboard with my help. He's still diabetic, but doing 100%. Nice. That is good. I know he was having a hard time there for a little bit. Very excited to hear that he's doing better. Sean Damon, hey John, doing good, I hope. I am. Yes, very good. Still alive. Just wondering when dates for Aqua Shella next will be coming up. Want to go to Orlando next year to meet you and the YouTube gang. Well, we'd definitely love to meet you too. I do not know. I know, well, I can't say too much because I don't want to get myself in trouble. I don't know what's public information and what's not, but I know they are planning all 3 next year. But Florida might not be at the same location as it was last time. I swear, is this helicopter landing in my yard? I mean, Lisa, you want to look at that? She's gonna be like, no, I ain't going out there. They have not announced the dates yet, but it should be soon, I would think, because these big giant venues that they get for these events, they have to be reserved like a year in advance. So it would not surprise me if you hear something probably right after Chicago. I'm not speaking for them. I'm not making an announcement. I don't know that. But if you think about it from a business person's perspective, I don't want to announce the following shows that could potentially make people say, well, I'll just wait till the next one. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to let this one get done with, which is in 3 weeks, and then you announce the next ones. That's what I'm assuming. But I do know that they are planning all 3 next year in the same states. I don't know if they'll be in the exact same locations. So we'll have to see about that. We tried bloodworms, krill, cichlid sticks, chicken hearts, and tilapia, and also frozen brine shrimp. Oh boy. Those are all the things that I would have tried. And if you haven't been able to get them to eat any of those, you can't make a fish eat. As much as I wish there was some kind of a trick, if you've tried all of those foods that fish just absolutely love, and there's no, there's no luck there, that you've done all you can do. Hopefully the fish is just pissed at the moment and he's not feeling well and he's going to snap out of it. I've seen that happen before. We had an Oscar one time that was a total drama queen, and he would lay down, I don't know what it was, would literally lay on the bottom on his side and just be looking up at us like, why are you doing this to me? Like, pitiful. And then we'd be like, oh no, there's nothing we can do. He's going to die. And then the next day he'd be perfectly fine. You just never know. I hope that's what's happening with yours, but I don't know for sure. I'm from India. Your thoughts about India, please. I've met a lot of wonderful people from India. That's all I know about India. I don't have thoughts. All of the thoughts are positive because I've met a lot of very nice people from India. I don't have really a whole lot more to say about it. There's a lot of people there. I know that. I think you got a lot more people there than we do here. So, I don't know what more I can say. And of course, we just skipped here. Where's a good place to purchase fish online in Massachusetts? See, it's funny that you say that. Because if you're buying online, you can buy them from anywhere. It doesn't have to be in Massachusetts. I do not know of a retailer in Massachusetts. That doesn't mean there isn't one. I'm sure there is, but the good thing about online is that you can order from Arizona, Florida, Utah, California, Texas, all over. Oh, I hate doing this. I hate reading the chat like this because then it makes me feel like there's a bunch of dead air, and that's not professional. Slightly controversial. Oh boy. But I read and watched the NFL concussion crisis book and documentary, and I got the impression that Aikman was egocentric too. The Zen Ginger. Okay, so that's a conversation that's being had between two people that I just interrupted and interfered with. What would you do with a fresh 538 gallons? That's an interesting number. It's a unique number. Well, it would depend on if that 538 gallon tank was mine or if it was Lisa's. But what I would do with it, I would go back to arowanas. I would do arowanas and stingrays, and I would probably incorporate another monster fish that would not conflict with the rays. And I like, how do you describe this? I don't know how to describe it. There's fish that I like that might not be the most popular fish, but that doesn't stop me from not liking them. That doesn't stop me from liking them. A great example of that would be Oscars. I mean, when I put my Oscars in my tank, 360 gallon tank, and you put Oscars in it. Yeah. Because why? I love Oscars. At the time, it may have looked at, you may have looked at that like, this guy is a YouTuber, makes his living on YouTube, and he's going to put a nickel and dime fish in there. Well, yeah, because I love them. And now you see them everywhere. Now, I am not in any way trying to insinuate that people who also have Oscars are copying me. I'm not doing that. But they're doing the same thing that I did, which is, hey, people either adore Oscars or they think they're a joke. But I adore them, so I'm putting them in my tank, and I don't care what people think. And that, the response that I've gotten to that is, that's awesome. Oscars are so cool. And I put them on a shirt and I said, if you don't like them, you can go F yourself. And people liked those too. We sold over 500 of those shirts. But with that in mind, I would probably go with a knife fish. I like the, which one is it? The clown knife. I've always loved that fish. The last one I had killed itself, not by jumping out of the tank. It tried to jump in the tank, but it didn't. It tried to jump out of the tank, but it didn't realize there was a glass lid up there. So he just broke himself, and he was basically in the tank like a horseshoe, and it was so pitiful to see. I would like for that to not happen again, but I would want to do bigger fish without going like irresponsibly big, like red-tailed cats and arapimas, things like that. Fish that can get 9 feet long. I know red-tailed cats don't get that big, but you know what I'm saying. Not fish that should be in a public aquarium or at Ohio Fish Rescue, but fish that are big and make a statement. Arowanas for sure. Maybe a gar of some type, but it would need to be like see, I've had Florida gar before, and they always stayed up top, but then you see a lot of gar that stay at the bottom. If I'm going to have rays down at the bottom, I don't want gars down at the bottom. So we'd have to play around with it and see, but that's what I would do. I would go big fish. And that's how you get a 10-minute answer out of one little question. But we all fantasize about that. What would we do with a big giant tank? And even though I have a tank that most people would consider to be big giant, I consider it to be big giant. I still think about bigger ones. I hope that didn't sound the way it sounded. I hope you didn't take it the way it sounded. I still think quite a bit about bigger aquariums. And we're talking about getting a bigger one, but it's not mine, so I can't make the decision of what to do with it. Orange pike cichlid. I love pikes. I love them a lot. I would even consider possibly, I know this might sound like blaspheme, but a 538, interesting number. I would probably move my common pleco in there and my 2 severums. I would move those over with the arowanas and with the stingrays. Well, plecos and stingrays, I've never had a problem with them in the past, but people would yell at me. I don't care if people yell at me. So yeah, I would do that so that leaves my 360 with just the 3 Oscars, 1 vampire pleco, and the 3 bikers, and I would probably add 1 more of each. I'd probably add a lemon Oscar And then whatever biker I don't have. There's like 14 different kinds. I would get another biker. I don't know which one it would be, but that's what I would do. I'd probably get another Lepradi. Just because I have a stunner of a Endley. I have a stunner ornate. Thank you, Eric. The Lepradi that I have is an amazing fish. And I love all three of them equally. I know that sounds like a cop-out, but something about my Lepradi that I have, it's just mesmerizing. And it looks like an alligator dinosaur. And I just absolutely love it. I love all three of them equally. But I would probably go with another Lepradi because they're definitely going to get the biggest, to my knowledge. Somebody said the other day that ornates get bigger than Lepradi. I've never seen one bigger. I've seen 30-inch long Lepradi, and they are wow. That's what they are, is wow. And so, yeah, I would want to get a little bit more of that wow. So I would have 4 bikers, 4 Oscars, and a vampire pleco that you never see. And then the other tank would have arowanas and stingrays. Will you guys ever sell and ship more than just betas? I don't know. But if we do, it's not going to be like we're going to start selling cichlids again, and we're going to sell all these community fish that we only have so much space. Lisa is breeding the heck out of some snails. And so we're probably going to sell some snails to be buddies for the betas, but that would be it. I don't know. Maybe, it's hard to say what could be happening 2 years from now. So I'm not going to say no way. We're never going to do that because I can tell you this. 2 years ago, I would have not said to you I was going to live in North Carolina and have a 1,500 square foot barn. And oh yeah, a separate building with all of our aquariums in it. That sounds like I'm bragging and like I'm some kind of rich guy. No, like I've said before, we paid less for this place than we would have paid for the house we were living in Virginia. So I would have never said that though. Like I would have never thought that this would have been happening if you had asked me 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I think just getting out of fixing furniture. I would have never imagined something like this. So it's impossible for me to imagine what'll be happening 2 years from now. So I'm not going to say no, but we're not planning on it. Put it that way. I gave up nicotine gum. Are you proud of me? Back to Wrigley's spearmint, the white one, the spearmint. It's one of my favorites. I still have other forms of nicotine, don't worry, but it's not the nicotine gum. And it's because I ran out and I just stopped going and getting it. Congrats again on the beautiful home. Well, thank you. I'm not going to go into as much detail as I did with the members because that's what member streams are for, but had a catastrophe in this house yesterday, had a geyser in my crawl space, and that was not fun. Especially when the crawl space is only this big and I can't fit my big butt in there. So I had to call a guy, and I don't like doing that, but had no choice. But he got it fixed, and it was an inexpensive repair. And, well, at least I think it is, according to what he told me. They haven't sent me an invoice yet, but, well, I make a rookie mistake a couple days ago. I mistakenly bought two Chinese algae eaters. You hit the N instead of the space bar is what happened there. And it messed me up there. I don't think that's a mistake. I mean, I guess depending on what you put them in, you got a bunch of full grown Oscars and you put them in there. Yeah, that was about a, $9 mistake. Listen, I'm not one of those people that hates Chinese algae eaters. I think they're cool. I think they're unique. And I ain't going to hate on you for that. Hey, come here. Come here. Come here and say hi. Come here. This dog is crying for some reason. He just wants to get attention. Say hi to everybody. He doesn't talk much. Bad typing tonight. No, you just hit that N. That's all it is. You know, you missed the space bar and hit that N. Not going to lie, but I've been watching your videos every single day. What? Are you sleepy? Who was it that said that? Preston, you're probably pretty sleepy if you've been watching all of our videos. Fish that enjoy low light, all of them. Every single one. It's true. I've never, in all of my time, I've never known a fish that needed the light. Every single fish I've ever kept could care less. Look at the camera. People want to talk to you. This dog, his tongue very rarely stays in his mouth. He's always licking something. If I put my finger over here, watch what'll happen. Lick. It's automatic. He's a licker. But we love him. He usually cries around dinner time, but his food bowls, I turned the wrong way. They're food bowls right there. It's got food in it. Love your videos. Learn so much. Well, thank you. That's what we do it for. You're literally, okay, this is a fun one. Another typo, but it's cute to read it. You are literally the whole reason I never gave up on my aquariums. Well, that is literally the best compliment I could ever get, because I'm not being a salesman here, but if you've ever been to our website, you'll notice that our website is called Keep Fish Keeping. The reason why is because what Lisa and I want to do is keep people in this hobby. So that's as good a compliment as we could ever receive. Thank you so much for that. Jarrell, I'm going to say Jarrell. I could be saying it wrong, but that's what it looks like to me. And yeah, I told you the story about Devin, and I had another experience with somebody, and what are the odds that she's watching right now? She's not a fan of the YouTube channel. There's a house along my loop that I do my runs, and there's a house that has these two dogs, and they're males, and they talk to me every time I go by. They have an electric fence. I can tell because they come halfway through the yard and they stop. But every morning I'll say, "Hey boys," and they'll talk to me, you know, the way dogs talk to people, which is very loud and not aggressive, but loud. And there was one day where I was, the dogs were talking to me. We were having a chat, and the lady came out. She was not happy that the dogs were barking at me. I didn't mind. We were just having a nice talk. And she came out holding a Chihuahua that looked almost exactly like Ike. That was Ike that I was just holding. And I was like, "Oh, that's funny. I've got a Chihuahua that looks almost exactly like that." She turned around and ran back into her house so fast that it was almost like I threatened her or something. Like, it was weird. I had to think about it for a second. Like, did I say something wrong? Like, maybe she thought I was trying small talk or something. Like, it was weird. And it really made me uncomfortable. I was like, I'm not some creep. I'm just out here exercising. You see me every day. I'm out here. Anyway, that was me just venting my frustrations. I'm sorry. This is the only person that I've encountered in North Carolina that was not overly friendly. Bought a 75 and setting it up, trying to figure out what to put in it. Was going to do discus. And that's all of your message that I saw, because YouTube is not friendly to scroll wheels. There it is. I was going to do discus, but have a baby on the way. What does discus and your baby being on the way have to do with it? No, I'm just messing with you. Obviously, that has to take priority. You want something that's super easy. Are you the one that was talking about peacocks and mystery snails? That's not going to be easy. Peacocks are not going to be easy. You got a baby on the way. You want something to be easy. You get those mystery snails. You put a beta in there, and then you put some other community fish in there. It's a 75-gallon tank. You got plenty of space. You know, get you some Ember Tetras, some Pristilla Tetras. Go get a bunch of Tetras. Put them in there and have yourself a ball. It'll be easy. And it'll look nice. You'll have plenty of activity, and it'll cost you like $19 and you fill up the whole tank full of fish. Okay, it'll cost you a lot more than that, but I'm just exaggerating, but it's yeah, that's what I would do. For an easy tank, I would go with a bunch of community fish. I'm not trying to say aquariums are easy. I'm just saying an aquarium with a few plants, some community fish is going to be easier than a tank full of discus or a tank full of peacocks. We all know that, right? Stephen P. and all of the awkwardness that comes with him gifted 5 memberships. I'm sorry I didn't get to that sooner, Stephen P. That is very, very nice of you. Well, actually, that's pretty far down the line. That just happened. So I'm not sorry for taking so long to get to you on there, Stephen P. I heard I'm not going to see you in a few weeks, and that makes me sad because we didn't get a chance to talk much at all in Dallas. I know you're not a super talkative guy anyway. But I would have liked to have had more time to chat with you. We just never made it happen in Dallas, and that's unfortunate. I'm going to take responsibility for that. I was kind of all over the place, and maybe we can change that. But thank you. 5 gifted members. That is amazing. Thank you so much for that, my friend. Nanners Piddlesmith knows that I just love saying the name. So just puts up a super chat with a banana. Kasha's dog. That's what that is. Y'all know Kasha's dog, right? Everybody loves banana. Sharon M. became a member. Welcome to the team. Leslie Perry. I'm considering a retro tank. I miss my undergravel filter from the early 90s. They get no love. Your opinion on undergravel filters? I've had them before too. I had them back in the 90s also. And at the time, I was like, these are the best thing ever. But I started keeping, my first tank had an undergravel filter in it in 1993. And so I thought it was the best thing ever. After a little bit of time, though, I started looking at other options. And I personally believe that there are better options out there. Does that mean undergravel filters don't work? No, it doesn't mean that at all. They definitely do. They're still on the market. You can still buy them, Leslie. I'm sure you know that. As a matter of fact, Lisa bought one, but she wanted to do something else with it, not a undergravel filter. It's a long story. Lisa's ideas, But no, I mean, they work. Me personally, I would do it other ways, but that doesn't mean I hate them. I just, I'm not a fan of having to clean and the stuff goes down through the little slots and it's down in there and you don't know if you're getting everything. That kind of stuff concerns me, but still, I know they work because they've been selling them for 1,000 years. So Fishtachio, and it's not going to be about Breaking Benjamin. That hurts my feelings. About to get some freshwater flounder. Is a 210 enough stuff? Wow, my wife gifted 10 memberships. How about that? I have never kept a freshwater flounder. I'm going to tell you a story about a flounder in a minute, but I've never kept a freshwater flounder. Yeah, you see? That's how familiar I am with that fish. I literally can tell you nothing about them because I don't know. I wish I did, but I don't know enough about those to give you any advice on that. But I mean, 210, probably big enough. Probably. I went fishing in Nag's Head, which is interesting because I live an hour from there now. I went fishing in Nag's Head with my family when I was like 13, probably. And we went fishing. My brother caught a 5-foot barracuda. It was unbelievable. He has that fish mounted on his wall to this day. We were fishing. I've always been a softie. I've always been if we're going to catch a fish, I'm going to throw it back kind of guy. I mean, call me soft, whatever you want to call me. It's fine. I don't care. I don't care. Call me whatever you want to call me. But that particular day, my brother caught this barracuda. And so the world exploded and it was like, oh my God, I can't believe it was so cool. Like everybody's taking pictures, with the big cameras and on all of this. And it was crazy. And my brother was exhausted because it took him like an hour to get this fish in. And it was a big deal. And while everybody was paying attention to that, I had one. I was bringing it in. I was like, yep, I'm working on this one. I might've been younger than 13. I don't know how old I was. I was working on this thing, working on it. Got the fish in, so excited. And it was a flounder about the size of this mouse. It was the tiniest little thing. And I got the hook out, flipped him over and got the hook out, looked around because my parents, when we were keeping flounder, we were keeping them because my mom wanted to cook them. And I said, this is just a baby. I look around, everybody's looking at my brother with the barracuda. I threw that son of a bitch right back in the water. Nobody even knew. I kept it a secret and I've never told anyone that story until all of you right now. So if I get in trouble, that's why. If my mom is watching, which she is not, but if she was to watch this, and if I get in trouble, y'all are going to know why. I'm trying to think. There's a lot that happened in that trip. My brother ended up in the emergency room because he stepped on a beer bottle in the ocean. It was probably one of the main reasons why I don't like swimming in the ocean. I don't remember how old I was. I bet you my mom would remember. I can ask her. Matthew Crumb with the dollar sunglasses emoji. And then here he comes. Coming in hot. Haven't seen this guy's name in a couple of weeks. Alexander Engelhardt said, you know what? These people with these piddly memberships, I'm giving 20 of them. This guy, I'm going to tell you what. I had the opportunity to meet this gentleman in person and was speaking to him for about an hour before I knew it was him in Dallas. And that was a lot of fun when I learned that it was him, because even looking at the avatar right now, I've spent time with you in person, Alexander. I know what you look like, but I still would not put that picture together with you. It's not because it's a bad picture. It's because it's that big. It's this little teeny picture on my screen. But anyway, so that's why I didn't know it was him. And then, but he ended up driving me around all of Dallas the whole weekend and all that. Great guy. And I appreciate the memberships very much, Alexander. That's very, very nice of you. Thanks for helping me care for my mustard beta. It's therapeutic for me, enjoying it a lot. That is a wonderful thing to hear. I'm so glad to hear that. Answer, please. No. Whatever you asked, I'm not answering it. Love your videos. Learn so much. Thank you. Cute puppy. Wow, I'm behind. Ike, it's when I was holding you. That's where I'm at now. Do fry do better with or without a light? I've never noticed a difference. It's been a while since we have had fry, except for a few secret fry. When we had our garage and we were breeding Africans by the thousands, I don't think it mattered. I mean, a fish is going to be, if the room is pitch black dark, you know, when we go, I'm sure it's this way with y'all's aquariums too. If you only have one aquarium, it would be this way. Or if you have, 12 of them in a room like I do, it's dark outside right now. And the fish room, well, I can't tell because I got the curtains on the windows now. I'm pretty sure Lisa has finished up in there, locked up, fed all the fish and locked up. If I went out there right now, all the lights are off, and I open the door and turn the lights on, all of the fish would be down at the bottom of the tanks, relaxing. And people say sleeping. I don't know if fish sleep. Maybe they do. It's not like they close their eyes and, drift off to sleep, but they would all be down at the bottom of the tank. And you would see them slowly start to come up after going in. So if it's pitch black dark, I know that definitely affects them. They want to relax and chill. And I guess, go to sleep. But if there's ambient light in the room, I personally would not think it would be a difference. I can certainly be proven wrong. And I'm not stating a fact. I'm just giving you an opinion. I don't think it would make too much of a difference. But if it's a pitch black room, I think that would be a problem. Because they would just never know. And if the light's off forever, they're like in a cave, and then you turn a light on, they're going to freak out and probably kill themselves. So, okay. I asked before, but no answer. Not a good way to start off. It's not an encouraging way to get me to answer your question. I always wanted to know your opinion about Prison Break, the TV show. Have you have pretty good taste with TV shows? I take back what I said because that's a great question. But the answer is unfortunately no. Well, I've watched some of it enough to say I think it's a good show, but I never watched the whole thing all the way through. So I can't give you a concrete opinion. I do like that one actor, though. I don't remember his name, and I don't know if he's been in anything since then. That's not Jensen Ackles, is it? Kind of looks like him, but I don't think that's him. What I saw of that show, I thought it was good, but I haven't watched the whole thing. I did finish Ozark, though. Lisa and I finished Ozark the other day, and we are in recovery at the moment. We're recovering from that and have not started up another show yet because that one took a lot out of us. Just started my 125 and I'm debating between small community fish or bigger fish. Don't have a ton of experience. Any advice? There are people that would tell you bigger fish are easier. There's people that would tell you smaller fish are easier. I think one of the things, okay, this is the piece of advice I'm going to give you. It's your first tank, or you didn't say your first tank, but you said first 125. A lot of beginners that start off with a big tank, or maybe this is your second tank and your first tank was a 29 and you're like, I'm getting this tank that's 5 times the size of this one. I'm going to put so many fish in there. A lot of beginners' tendency is to way overstock a tank that size. They overestimate how many fish can go in a 125 and you end up with, 300 fish in there. The best advice that I would give you is to not do that. Don't go overboard with the stocking. And I hope your follow-up question is, how many then? I really hope that's not your follow-up because that's my least favorite question in my life. Now everybody's going to ask that, but less than what you want is what I would say, particularly if you're a beginner, because new people go overboard. I want that. 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 And with all this space, I can have as many fish as you want. No, you can't, unless you want to be a miserable fish keeper. And that's what we don't want you to be. Mike B, mine loves the light. They just kind of do nothing without the light. Turn it on and they become your best friend. Yeah. See, there you go. My puppy is 80 pounds now. He's a German Shepherd Rottweiler mix. That's going to be a big boy. That's going to be a pretty boy too, though. Alex, I have them in 20 for now. Who are we talking to? Which Alex? I don't see any Alexes in here. Is there somebody? Oh, there's Alex Major. Maybe that's him. Okay. Anyway. John, you've been working out, bruh. You're looking good. Yeah, I have. Thank you for that. Yeah, a little bit. That's where I told the story in the beginning of this stream, which was kind of funny. If you didn't see it, listen to that, of an encounter with somebody that I had out of nowhere while I was out doing my exercising. I have a Chihuahua too. She gives free COVID tests, sticks her tongue up your nose If you aren't quick enough to deflect her lightning licker, yeah, that's absolutely true. Both of mine are big time lickers. Both of them are. Mags is a person licker, but Ike, like, this is our thing. I mean, we have our way of doing things. When we sit down to watch which was Ozark, but the trauma that was Ozark, I sit in my chair. We have a dual recliner sofa with a little console in the middle, and I sit on my side and Lisa sits on her side, and I put a pillow on my lap and Ike gets up on top of that. And this is going to sound weird, but Mags gets between my legs on the ottoman of the recliner. That's the only place she'll be. She doesn't want to be up on the side of me. She doesn't want to be up on the pillow with Ike. She has to be between my legs. It's a little dog thing. She will get between my legs. This sounds so weird, and then she'll just go to sleep. Ike will get up on the pillow in my lap and lick every single square inch of that pillow. And then he'll go to sleep. He'll finally go to sleep with like 5 minutes left in the show. It's like, come on, dude. He's a licker. He's a licking maniac. Oh, love your videos and great online shop. Thanks for all the plants. Well, we don't sell plants, but we have the artificial plants. I'm hoping that's what we're referring to, because if you're not referring to that, you might be confusing me for somebody else. But I don't know another guy. Well, Bob's selling plants now, isn't he? I don't know. Uh-oh. No, he said that. He did an unboxing for the plants. I was about to get nervous there. Don't want to piss my guy off. Stephen P., thank you for the memberships. Now can I binge watch more Cage Tropicals video and join your nice people in the members only stream? Yes, you can. For a whole month, you can do that. And there is a lot, Skydiver, there's a lot of videos that are in there that are exclusive to members too. So you'll have to make sure you check that out. Get all kinds of extra stuff. Can't wait to see you in the members only. Oh, yep, everybody's welcoming him. Are there ever going to be any Aqua Shella shows in Michigan? Probably not. I mean, of course, I have no say in it. If I had a say, there'd be one in Greenville, because it's about an hour away. You put a big event like that in there that's promoted by a lot of YouTubers, you never know. Jimmy Donaldson might show up. He lives in Greenville. You know, hey, they ain't going to do Greenville. Chicago, Orlando, Dallas is what they're doing now. I was begging them to do DC when I lived 40 minutes from DC, because I'm like, dude, it's DC. You do Chicago, but not DC. Like, but they just could never really work it out. I mean, there's so much involved in shows like that. And I'm not going to talk about, specific things that I know because it's privileged information, but there is so much money that goes out before they ever sell one ticket. You wouldn't even believe. So the concept of starting a fourth show, I just can't even imagine the expense associated with that. So I don't know. I've been begging since 2019. In fact, I remember talking to the owner of Aqua Shella at the Aquatic Experience in 2019 saying, come on, man, we got to do DC. And he was like, I don't know. But that was even before they added Orlando. It was just Dallas and Chicago then. So we got Orlando. That was good. I came home smelling like border collies tonight. Skeeter is furious with me. So she's so jealous. Yeah, dogs will do that. Anytime I ever pet another dog, I get the full inspection when I get home. I haven't pet another dog in a long time because I don't go into people's houses anymore, but that sounded weird. I used to work a job where I went into people's houses and now I don't. So, and this of course skipped again because of course it did. The them Schwitters, I hope I'm saying that right, became a member. Welcome to the team. You'll have to help me out to pronounce that in the members only stream next week at 6:30. Killer Kitty 08. What makes a beta a Nemo? Ben Ochart's beta from you guys was so beautiful. It's the color combination. If you think about the colors of Nemo, there you go. We don't breed Nemos, so I don't know what it is. I've been told. I know it's a koi, and then there's something I don't know exactly what color combinations go together to make Nemos, but that's what it is. It's the color scheme of the fish that makes it a Nemo. I never thought I could handle a dog that consistently licks until we got our puppy. I still think it's weird. Listen, I got to tell you all about something. And this is what I do. I do this in this live stream. When I see things that bother me online that have to do with animals, I tell you about it. I vent my frustrations with you. I hate people that want to be YouTube famous. I really do. I hate those people. Not all of them, because there's a lot of people that are YouTube famous that are great people. I remember having the pleasure of speaking with Brian Barczyk for like an hour nonstop in Dallas. If you're not familiar, Brian is a big time YouTuber on the reptile side, 3.5 million subscribers. I mean, he's the one that started Animal Con. I almost said Aquaticon. It was an absolute pleasure to speak with Brian for that long. And he's a great guy too. I don't have a problem with people who are YouTube famous. I hate people who are trying desperately to be YouTube famous. And in their efforts to be YouTube famous, they will do things that are reckless, that are irresponsible, and death-defying, and dangerous, or cruel, like what I'm about to tell you now. Don't worry, it's not. You'll understand. Nobody's gonna cry. Don't worry, it's fine. But it really, really made me mad. And since we're all animal lovers here, I thought I would share it with you. I have been falling down the rabbit hole. Shame on YouTube. Shame on YouTube for creating the shorts section. Because it's just like TikTok, and it makes me so mad. I will not go on the website TikTok. I won't do it. Lisa used to send me clips or share TikToks with me, and I would curse her every time she did that, because I would click on it, and then next thing you know, I blink my eyes and it's been an hour. And I hate that. Well, YouTube Shorts is starting to do the same thing. And I get the weirdest things sent to me, like, when you just scroll through the shorts. I do it on desktop. I saw one that, oh God, it pissed me off so bad. And if anybody else has seen this, I'm sure it pissed you off as much as it did me. It's the cutest little puppy. Looks like don't worry. You don't have to cover your ears. It's bad, but it's not that bad. So don't panic. It's a little puppy that looks like perhaps a golden retriever puppy. And that puppy is eating bees. It looks like somebody that was breeding bees. They had bee boxes or honey boxes or whatever they call whatever those weird bee people do. And there was like a little crack in one of the, I don't know. There's bees all over it. That's all I know. And this little adorable brand new puppy is eating the bees. And then of course it flips to a shot of that puppy with its face swollen up like this. This is why I don't hate any of y'all. There's 441,000 people out there that I love. I don't hate any of y'all. But this is why I say I hate people. This is why I saw a lot of stuff like this on Facebook, which is why I stopped with Facebook. And I never really saw anything like this with TikTok, but this one, it just really bothered me. And the thing is, here's what bothers me about it. I'm getting ready to say a bad word. It's just a 3-letter word. It's not terrible, but I have no choice. I have to say it. It's a 3-letter word with hole on the end. My problem isn't necessarily showing something like that, because that's nature. I mean, a dog is going to go do that. My problem is the asshole that saw the puppy doing that, and instead of stopping it, grabbed his camera and pushed record. I'm going to get 50 million views of this. That's why I hate people. I hate the person who made that video. I don't care. I don't care if that person is 12. I hate you. You're a bad person. That's what you are. I really hope you're watching. Let's face it, you're not. But if you are, you're a scumbag, and I hate you. That's all I got to say about that. I mean, things happen, but you have to think about it. It's not just this. How many videos are out there of people feeding animals to large fish? How many videos are out there of people feeding fish to large fish? And how many people get a kick out of that stuff? Now, I understand I am the softy here. I mean, don't you dare call me a snowflake, but I have a sensitivity towards animals. I'm the guy that I can watch 25 people fall down a flight of stairs and it doesn't bother me, but a dog fall down the flight of stairs, I'm going to be like, oh no, is the dog okay? I mean, that's just me. I'm a horrible person. I never said that I was a good person, but that kind of stuff just burns me up. And there's so many scumbags that are out there making those videos, and they're making them because they're like, oh, this is going to get a lot of views. And it's just pathetic. It really is. Why don't do something that is, instead of being like what you think is cool, why not do something that's actually going to teach somebody something or bring somebody some type of value? Because your little piece of content that you create of an animal eating another animal or something like that, that's 3 seconds of pure entertainment. What I do and what Corey does and what Bob does and what Jason does and what we're providing hours and hours and hours worth of education and making fools of ourselves in live streams. Well, me. None of those other guys make fools of themselves, just me. And it only happens when I'm by myself, because when Lisa's in here with me, she keeps things under control. But you're providing 3 seconds of entertainment. Why not provide, 30 minutes of something that's valuable instead of just searching the views? Because that, 3 seconds of fame that you're going to get is not going to be worth it. And asshole, put your phone in your pocket and get the dog away from the bees. What are you, an idiot? You are an idiot. You know that already, but get me started. Nothing wrong with being an animal person. They're the best kind of people, in my opinion. I mean, listen, I've never had an animal piss me off, except for the dog that bit me when I was like 7 and ran into my yard and bit me in my yard. My dad went and had a talk with that owner too. I don't know what ended up happening. The dog's name was Pebbles, and he was mean, and he broke skin on me. My dad was not happy about that. But Killer Kitty, thank you for bringing up Ben Ochart with his beta, by the way. If y'all haven't seen that, go check it out. Ben, what a great dude Ben is. And he did he ordered a fish from us and did a really cool unboxing video of it today. What are you saying it to your face, King George? You just saying, I'll say it to your face. Yeah, that guy's an idiot, and I'll say it to your face. Right to your face. I don't care if I open the door and you look like the mountain. I'm going to still say you're an idiot. I'll take the beating. But you're going to know you're an idiot for filming your puppy, like 8-week-old puppy eating bees, You're going to know you're an idiot for that, for filming that. Delilah's Critters. I'm home from my kitty sitting gig. Nice to be here, friends. Still waiting for my first official t-shirt order. Sorry for the shameless plug. What are you talking? Still wait. I don't know what that means, Delilah. I don't think it has anything to do with my... Sure. I'm going to need you to clarify that because I don't understand it. Regina Phalanges, thanks for the advice, knowledge, and entertainment, John and Lisa. Well, thank you. $25. Good grief. And the adorable long hair Chihuahua. I have seen that. Is it a pom or is it a Chihuahua? It looks like a Chihuahua in the avatar, but it's really small. I don't really know, but it looks like one to me. I think we've talked about this before, but you have to refresh my memory. Princess Di 2009 with the mic drop pair. Thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah, I like having talks like that. I like making sure people that do that kind of stuff know that they're idiots. Like the idiots in Florida that sent the goldfish down the water slide. I mean, idiots. That's just, I want to use that word so bad, but I can't do it. Wait a minute. Did we freeze up here? Or are you just saying, did I do something weird that made it look like I shorted out? I short out all the time. I got screws loose. I got wires crossed. It happens all the time. And when I'm able to just do whatever I want to do, when I don't have Lisa in here that, I got to let her talk too, I can have all kinds of fun. I was thrilled when Ben moved to Tennessee. He's so awesome. I thought I would see him more. Because I think he lived in San Diego or around San Diego before. And then he moved to Tennessee, which, I was a neighbor of Tennessee when I lived in Virginia, and I'm still a neighbor of Tennessee now, but we actually live farther away from, I don't know where he is. I think he's near Nashville. I don't know. We're farther away from that now than we were when we lived in Virginia. So I'm just never going to get to see Ben. I'll only get to see him at these events. I saw him in Orlando this year. We had dinner together, which was nice. It was me and him, Chattanooga Ed, Will Nace, Lucas, and Lucas's wife, Will's wife. And I think that might have been it. And it was a nice time. Furloughs Aquatics, hello and good night. Oh, I'm wiped out and going to bed. Here, have some money. Eric, I was talking about you earlier when I talked about the bikers. There's Mags. Oh, you can't see her. The thing's covering her up. She will not lick the whole bed like Ike did. She's just going to run around like a crazy person. Mags, do you want to say hi? Come here. Come here. She is a lot more skittish than Ike is. What? What is this? She doesn't really like to be held. I mean, she does, but you just basically have to hold her and not like, I don't know. She's weird. She's my little sweet girl though. You're used to being in this arm. There, that's better. Now the microphone thing is going to cover you up. People aren't going to be able to see you. Yes, John, she's a long coat Chihuahua. Actually, she's so fluffy and blowing her puppy coat. Oh, which equals lots of brushing. Yeah. We went with the short-haired varieties because we don't have to deal with that. But there's still a whole lot of hair that comes off of these dogs. I'm going to put you down. What's wrong? I'm going to tell you this. This dog, thank you for that. That was a wet willy. Will you look at the camera, please? You're being rude. This little dog, she weighs like 5 pounds. She's a tiny little thing. Okay. The hardest, look at her now. She looks like a gremlin. She is the most difficult dog you have ever experienced when it's time to cut her nails. You don't even know. It is, I told you, I'm not a call a guy person. I mean, there's nothing to groom on a Chihuahua except their nails. I clean their ears. I clip their nails. Very, very rarely do I cut too deep. I try so hard to just do a little bit and just do it more frequently so that I don't cut to the quick. But this dog, it's like wrestling with Triple H to cut her nails. It is a nightmare. And she looks so uncomfortable. That's the thing. It's true. She is like, she just wants to do her thing. She does not want to be, she's just, but look at her now. She's so sweet. She just is her own, I don't know, but she's my girl. You want to get down? Of course you do. Now they're excited. They're going to do this for a little bit. They have beds on both sides of the room. She may do this thing too, which is hilarious. She digs in the bed. Here she goes. There she goes. See that? I don't know why she does this. Nothing happens, but that's what she does. Ike doesn't do that. You don't do that. But Mags does. Usually they lay in that together, but right now they're just being rascals. I want a Chihuahua now. My husband's going to be mad at you. You know, the story behind this microphone feels so weird being so high up here. The story behind that, when I made the decision to get a Chihuahua, I had lost my golden retriever, and it was as heartbroken as I've ever been. And I said, okay, I want a dog that's going to last a really long time, because I'm tired of buying dogs and then they go after like 8 years. I get too attached, and it's a problem that I have. I mean, they become like children. Ask anybody that knows me. And so I was like, you know what? I love little dogs. I used to have a miniature pinscher. Absolutely loved her. And I said, I want to get another small dog that's going to last a really long time. So there was a breeder, and I know there's going to be people, you shouldn't buy from breeders, whatever. I went to a breeder that happened to be in King George, which was weird, and happened to have a puppy. I called them up. They said, yeah, we've got one puppy right now. It's a female. She's white and brown. And you can come put a deposit on her, but you can't we can't let her go for another 2 weeks. She wasn't old enough yet. So I was like, okay, well, we're going to come by and take a look at her. I wanted a female anyway. I've had some bad experience with dogs, with male dogs in the past. So I was like, I want a female. There he goes. So we show up there. This breeder had 18, or no, excuse me. I don't know. They had a bunch. The 18 is a different thing. They had a bunch of adult Chihuahuas, and we're petting Mags. Her name's Mags. Her name's Maggie, but we call her Mags. We were petting Maggie, and we were like, oh, you're so adorable. She's so cute. And she was like the size of a gerbil because she was only 6 weeks old. And so I'm petting her, and I'm like, oh, I love her so much. I love her. And then the breeder is like, you know what? I have this male, and he's 5 months old. He's her brother, her half brother. They have the same father, but different mothers. I really think you need to meet Ike. And he was like, it's a male. He's 5 months old. I was like, I really do. I like female dogs. And he's like, no, seriously, I really think you need to. I'm like, well, listen, I'm not going to turn down the opportunity to see a bunch of really cute little dogs. So let's go. We go into his backyard, and this little guy, Ike, you can barely see him now because he blends in with the bed. This little guy and I fell in love with each other. He was He is the biggest lover. He is the best friend to whoever is nearest him. And I just was like, oh no, what's happening now? So I was like, he was like, listen, Ike he's 5 months old. We were going to keep him as a stud because, he's brown. He's got really good color. He's an applehead. Like, he's great. Like, we wanted to use him as a stud, but we just had a big accident. And we're not going to breed anymore. So we will sell him if you want him. And I was like, I really need to think about this. Long story short, we went home without a dog. I knew I wasn't going to be able to take her home anyway. So we went home to think about it. And I said, it was like 2 hours passed. And I went to Lisa and I said, I can't stop thinking about Ike, because that little guy, he reeled me in when I was there. And when we were leaving, they were in like this huge pen. He was standing up on the edge, like staring at me like, where are you going? Why are you not taking me with you? Him and I connected. And I told her, I said, I can't stop thinking about Ike. I feel like I need to go back and get him. And she was like, well, okay, if that's the one you want. I said, fine. So thank you, Carl. So we went and we get in the car. My daughter was with us. We get in the car and she's like, you need to go to the ATM before we go. And I said, why? And she said, because the way you fell in love with Ike, I fell in love with Maggie. And I don't think she had a name yet, but I fell in love with the female. So you buy my Ike, I'm going to buy her. So that's what happened. We went and I bought him and took him home that night. Because he was 5 months old, so it was no problem. And he fit in perfectly right off the bat. But we had to go back 2 weeks later to get her. And that's how it is. And now, it started out, Ike was mine, Mags was hers. We'd be watching TV. Ike is in my lap, Mags is in hers. No, she was just like, okay, whatever. Mags is yours now. And so Mags is always with me. And that's just how it is. She loves me. And that's how we ended up with 2. We were only going to have 1, but we have 2. So let me get to Whip's World real quick before we end this. I think there might actually be more than that. Yes. Mem2825 with the 1999. Wow. Thank you so much for that. Love your channel, John and Lisa. Keep fish keeping going. Thank you so much. That's what we're trying to do. And you know what? It's people like you, that kind of support, that helps us to be able to do it. So thank you so much for that. Really, really do appreciate it. Then my friend, forgot this one too. Ariel C. My beta has a lump on his side. I treated with meds mixed with food. He's acting normal. Tank is clean and stable with a mystery snail. Any suggestions? I'm willing to bet that Lisa answered that for you. She is our person that handles all of that kind of stuff. I have never been able to, and I think Lisa would tell you this exact same thing, so I can speak for her. I don't know that that's something we've ever been able to get to go away. Tumors are something that can happen on betas. Some betas are more susceptible to them than others. And when it happens, it just is what it is. Sometimes they can be like a tumor on us where it starts to interfere with organs and ends up being a fatal thing. I'm sorry to say that, but it's true. Sometimes it can be that way, or sometimes it could be completely on the surface or like on the fin and it's just unsightly and it's never going to cause a problem with the fish. I hope that's the case for yours, but it's, there's about 3 million things that a lump on the side could be. None of them are good. I'm sorry to be the bearer of that kind of news, but I wish I had a better thing to say for you, but say to you, but that's about as good as I got for you. Over and under, in between the ups and downs, mine on the carpet, magic ride goes around. I know this. I know this, Whip's World. How dare you? Did somebody guess it? Because I need to know. Are the dogs fixed? Yes, both of them are. What song is that? Come on. Oh, that's going to drive me crazy, Whips World. You're going to have to text me and let me know what it is. I suppose I could Google it. But while I Google that, folks, it is 9:30. I am used to passing it off to my partner in crime at this point because of she does a better job of saying goodbye than I do, because I go on and on and on and on. But listen, this has been fun, just rambling. I've had so much fun doing that. I've enjoyed myself tonight. I hope you've enjoyed it too. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And thank you to all of the mods that have helped out. Haven't seen any shenanigans really going on. But if there was, the reason why I probably didn't see it is because y'all mods are so good. So thank you so much for that. Softball. I know it's a softball, but I just can't. I got 84,000 people watching this right now. It's put me on the spot. It bothers me. Uh-oh. Fishroom Fever is already going. So I'm going to go ahead and send you all over to him. Thank you so much for hanging out. Again, thank you to the mods, and I will see you next week. I'll be in Chicago, but I'm going to do my best. Unless something crazy happens, I'm going to do my best to stream for you. Even if it's just with my phone, I'll be here to bug you again, and we'll have all kinds of fun. So thank you so much. See you next week.